thanks very much for joining us for What's Your Problem? You can reach me at jim@simplifyiso.com or over here on the website with this handy contact button. You've seen this Ishikawa fish diagram hundreds of times, and you know that there are other contributors to nonconformances besides just the operator. In fact, when we are talking about the actual nonconformance, we need to be very careful how we make the statement. We have to make the problem statement as palatable as possible. We need to make sure that the nonconformance statement reflects the facts. When we make the statement, this is a stimulus for the person who is receiving the statement. They will respond. And if they don't respond the way we think they will, we now will be in a position where we will either respond or react. Think about going to the doctor with a rash. You present your rash and she prescribes a salve to put on it. You put the salve on the rash and it blows up like a balloon. This is what we refer to as a reaction. Now, if you go back, get another prescription, and it calms down and starts to turn out the way it should, we call this a response, or you responded to the medication. The same thing will occur with you and your team when you're talking about nonconformances. With their response, when they become the stimulus for you, and you can't control what they're going to do for sure, you then decide, am I going to react or am I going to respond? If you react, things will get worse. If you respond, things will get better. So keep thinking in terms of response being the best next step in the path. Wording makes all the difference. Try everything possible to never use the phrase, the operator did not follow the procedure. There's typically a reason for a person not following a procedure. No one gets up in the morning and says, when I get to work, I'm going to make sure I do a bad job, or I'm going to make sure I don't follow any procedures. So we have to get literally to the root cause. When we attack people, they get defensive, and defensiveness leads to blame, not improvement of the system. Operator error indicates that you've done a poor or a weak root cause analysis, except for 6% of the time. This is what the data since World War II has shown us, that operator error does occur. We know it happens. But Crosby, Duran, Deming, they all came up with a similar conclusion that operator error is the actual cause about 6% of the time. But think about this for a minute. We could even go further once you do zero in on the operator and say, was the equipment okay? Was the work environment okay? Were the instructions right? Did they have the right material to work with? Was everything clear about what their results were supposed to be? Sometimes we find that that's not the case. When we look at this expanded version of the Ishikawa fishbone, you can see other things there mentioned, like raw materials, management. We've talked technology quite often, part of the infrastructure. In fact, even measurements can indicate a nonconformance when one doesn't exist, or vice versa. If the measurement devices aren't accurate enough, you'll miss a nonconformance. So keep thinking in terms of wording the nonconformance in a way that will get people focused on the system, not on blaming somebody else. One of those phrases could be that the procedure XYZ wasn't fully implemented. Another thing you might try would be the requirements for ABCDE have not been fully met. So there are lots of ways to word the nonconformance in a way that people would gather together, work together as a team, and find out the weakness in the system and make it stronger. If you've decided that it was the operator, look into areas of your system that were not supporting the operator at the time that the issue occurred. look through the workflow. See if you can find some indication of some place where the handoff wasn't what it should have been, where information didn't get transferred, where maybe an inspection was either done improperly or got missed altogether. By all means, join us on the 27th for the root cause free webinar, noon, July 27th, Eastern Daylight Time. You'll see down below here a link to sign up for it. We also will be able to customize any of these courses for your organization. And don't forget that we are happy to come by virtually and do a complimentary lunch and learn for you. Any topic that you like, we have loads of them. Thanks very much for having a look, and I hope you can join us next time when we take a look at some root cause analysis tools. Bye for now.